The Weedsman Podcast.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Are you looking for a rewarding new career? The New Jersey courts are hiring. Make a difference doing work that matters. With competitive salaries, pension, benefits, on-the-job training, partial remote work, and paid holidays. Apply now at njcourts.gov/careers.
This is the smell of the leftover tuna fish sandwich you left in your lunchbox over the weekend in a wimpy trash bag.
Wimpy, wimpy, wimpy!
Blech! And this is the smell of that same sandwich in a Hefty Ultra Strong trash bag.
Hefty, hefty, hefty!
Ah, smell the difference? Hefty Ultra Strong has Arm & Hammer with continuous odor control, so no matter what's inside your trash, you can stay one step ahead of stinky. And for bigger jobs, try the superior strength of Hefty Large Black Bags.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and get moving. Go cardio crazy in our clean and spacious clubs. Or get down with some dumbbells and strength equipment. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, October 14th. It's glow time. See club for details.
Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. From Asthmacore Studios near Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, man.
It's the Weedsman Podcast.
I have no idea what's going on.
And now,
you have smoked yourself retarded.
Here are the Weedsmen.
You want to get high?
Yeah.
Let's all get high. The whole country wants to get high.
Apparently, I'm Chris.
I'm Aaron. Big news today. As we're recording this, Biden made his announcement that he's actually doing something about cannabis.
Kind of.
He's doing something about cannabis.
At least one thing, yeah.
Or at least like he has a plan.
Something starting.
Yeah. I mean, this is pretty big news because we've been complaining for a while about how it's been just not a thing, right? They've just not addressed it. They have no plan for it. And as a matter of fact, I'm kind of surprised about this announcement right before the midterms.
I'm not.
I would have thought that he would have waited till after, especially considering that a lot of the Democrats seem to take the stance of like, let's not play any games.
You want to get the youth to turn out.
I agree with you. Like, I think it's a smart decision, right? I just well, who was it that was talking about not having marijuana on the bill per se, or not highlighting that? You know, they want to separate their candidates from anything questionable. They want right down the middle.
How is
every American
weed still questionable at this
I know
point?
that's the thing these comments were made based. I'm sure they were out of somebody over 50, definitely, but. Yeah, just somebody with outdated concepts of cannabis. So yeah, we'll get to the details in that later.
Maybe over 60. At this, over 50. You're talking about somebody born 1972. I think anyone born after 1972 is pretty pro weed.
I'm coming up on 50, so
right?
I gotta readjust my timeline.
It's in your sights, isn't it?
Yeah, I gotta readjust my concept of old.
Yeah, trust me, 40's getting a little further in the rearview mirror than I'd like it to be.
Well,
wow, it took forever to get to 40. Now it's fucking... The end of this decade starts with a 5. Yikes.
Yeah. Have you heard of clap cleats?
This could be anything. No.
What do you think it is?
I feel like I've heard this word in the last week or so for something.
Yeah.
So... Nothing to do with sports, right?
No.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with sports at all.
What are clap cleats?
Well, do they still use clap as a slang term for, like, sex?
Are these socks for fucking?
They're sex socks, yeah. I'm thinking about getting some. Not because I want to use them for getting some, but this just looks like I got no carpet on the stairs. I have nightmares of like being home alone and falling down the slippery stairs.
Well, I mean, ever since we ripped up the carpet, I've had slippers.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah.
I mean, I guess this is a fancy way to sell socks with tread on them.
Yeah, so that's what they are. They're like a little taller than ankle socks for the gentlemen, and they have like a sticky tread all over the bottom of them.
To give you more traction for the action.
Yes.
Better grip from thrust them, or better grip to thrust them hips. More force during intercourse. So you can hit it deep out the park and become there all... See? You had a good... No.
You should have stopped at 3.
Yeah. Choose your drip?
I think they mean like color. Designed for clapping cheeks. Which tells me that this is...
These are clearly for people younger than us.
I was going to say this is like for black people.
You haven't clapping cheeks like a prison term?
I don't know about that. I wasn't equating it with prison. That's not why I said it was a black thing.
I wasn't either, but isn't...
No, all I'm saying is...
I'll take the busty lass and these thigh highs, and you can leave the thigh highs at home.
Look, you got to have some booty to make it clap, right?
Yes.
I get plenty of action at home, but there ain't a whole lot of clapping going on. That's all I'm saying. We're skinny people, all right? There's no body parts clapping.
It could be you clapping together.
Yeah. Also, I'd probably get laughed out of the bedroom for wearing these.
Right. What the fuck is on your feet?
The thigh highs aren't bad. Not for me, but, for the ladies.
Oh, you know what? Oh, these are socks with the... See, I couldn't wear these. They're the socks. They got the individual toes.
Yeah.
I could not wear these.
You couldn't do it?
And it would bother the hell out of me.
I don't think I've ever had... Like, how do you fit your feet with socks? Like, wouldn't it add a lot of extra width to your foot? Right? Because you have all that material in between the toes. And maybe I'm overthinking it.
It's stretchy just like the... I mean, it does what it...
I know. It just seems like you'd have too much shit going on down there and it would get all bunched up or something.
This is something chicks would wear. I mean, I've never known a dude to wear these type of socks. Not a straight dude, I guess.
I think you're right. I bet you gay dudes would be way more into this. Because they're always thrusting, right? That's all they do is thrust.
Well, is it the catcher?
Well, for both, right? Like, what good is it?
One's thrusting backwards, right. One's thrusting forwards.
Right. Like, what good is it, though, to have somebody playing from behind to have a lot of traction if what they're pushing against doesn't have traction? Right? So you just, like, keep...
It's true. Nobody likes anyone who just lays there.
Well, no, but you got it. Like, you're just going to get pushed around the room.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, you got to push back.
Yeah, unless you, like, get on the bed. I imagine that's what they're thinking.
It's a public service announcement. Male or female, you got to push back.
I can't think of... And, look, I'm not the most adventurous person when it comes to sex, but, I do the positions, right? I explore a little bit, but...
Wait.
I'm trying to think of how many...
more than one?
I'm trying to think of how many times I've had my feet flat on the ground when I was fucking, and it's not often. And usually it's in situations where I couldn't just be like, oh, hold on a second, let me put my socks on. Right?
Yeah, exactly. If it is...
They're kind of spontaneous moments when you got your feet on the ground fucking.
Yeah, my feet are on the ground, it's usually like, just bed.
Yeah.
And I'm not stopping
catch a quickie or something.
And I'm not stopping to put socks on.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me put on my fucking socks.
Right. Or you forget to halfway through and then you're like, oh, hold on, baby. Just play with yourself for a second. I'm going to put these socks on.
I'm gonna up the game.
Yeah. Wait till you see these socks that show off my individual toes.
Yeah.
Boy, you're going to be wet.
Hold on, I'll go get a towel.
Or, baby, I ordered the special badges. It says beast mode. Like they make Velcro badges that you can put on these socks.
These are clearly for not us. These are for 30 and under.
I think it's just a gag gift. I mean, think anyone's actually going to buy these for real? I mean, other than me, who is like, hey, I could not fall down the stairs.
Thigh-high no slides with knee pads. I mean, nice. I like what you're doing there.
They got knee pads? Oh yeah, look at that. They got a little.
I'll take the busty lass inside of those thigh highs.
See, now I'd buy that for my girl. Even if she didn't wear them, it would just, like a hint.
Dropping hints. Yeah. Well, these knee pads seem rather new.
Play it off like a joke, but...
You notice how these knee pads aren't worn down?
Oh, wow. Look at that. Yeah, clap cleats. Somebody posted an advertisement for them that they for the company that they saw out in the wild. And clap their cheeks with clap cleats, the original sex socks. Traction for the action, thrust for the lust, bring out your A game. Yeah.
You notice how there hasn't been this idea before now?
Well, I think they make these already, right? Like they have.
It's just called regular socks?
No, you can get socks with like traction on them. Like old people have them.
Just go to the hospital.
Right, exactly. These are hospital socks. That's exactly what the fuck they are.
They've just rebranded the hospital booties.
Somebody was getting some action in the ER.
I was like, hey.
They're like, man, these fucking socks really work. Baby, lock the wheels on that gurney.
Yeah.
I don't want to push you in the wall.
Lock the wheels on the gurney, put on the socks. We got a good thing going here.
Yeah, close that curtain. Doctor said he'll be back in 10 minutes, so we got an hour.
Yeah. Your gown's already open in the back. I've heard the hack around that is you ask for a second hospital gown and you put it on backwards.
The hack to not have your ass hanging out?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you could, like, the thing overlaps in the back. I don't know. Maybe, like, I'm a skinny dude, like I said before. Yeah. So, like, I can wrap that thing twice around me usually. I guess for bigger people, it would probably be more of an issue.
I just heard you ask for a second one, you put it on like a jacket. Yeah. And that way you're covered all the way around.
Right. I hate it when musicians that I like get old and start saying stupid shit.
What did Morrissey say now?
No, it's not Morrissey. I've given up on his ass.
Yeah.
It would be a news story if Morrissey said something sane. Like, oh, he actually said something reasonable.
Morrissey said, I love everybody, and wow, who knew steak was delicious?
Now, this one is from Trent Reznor, and he was complaining about music sounding like shit to him, which, no argument there. Most popular music sounds like shit.
Clicks and beeps.
And it has become lifeless. But what I take exception with is what he blames, what he says is the blame for music sounding lifeless. And that's affordable synthesizers. And over the last decade, there's been quite the boom in synths. Not just your little like Korg micros that, with a bunch of digital presets. Like, you can get at a reasonable price an actual analog, good sounding, piece of equipment. And, a lot of people are going modular now. Modules are the little rack modules are much more affordable. There's a lot of DIY stuff. Like, synths are really blowing up. But does that mean that is contributing to... No, I mean, by that logic, like, Fender would have ruined rock and roll, right?
Right.
Because there was so much bad rock and roll out there.
When they started making Strats in Mexico and everyone could buy them.
Well, not even that. Like, Fender, when they came out, was based on the fact that, like, we're going to make these things fucking cheap. They're going to be solid wood. They don't have to have the whole arched carved top with the inlays and all that shit. They're doing something exactly the opposite of Gibson. Which Gibson wasn't popular. That Fender was popular because they were selling these, you could buy for a reasonable price, a guitar that was lightweight and easy to play.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what helped really, like, make rock music blow up. Not just the fact that everybody, saw, like, acts like the Beatles and on TV, but they could go out and buy something for, money that they saved up mowing the lawn, and be a rock star.
I think what Trent doesn't want to say, because it probably hits too close to home for him, is technology. Because and hear me out, because trust me, I'm a fan of technology. I heart technology, for the record. But with music, it's made it so. You ready for it? You don't have to know how to play, and you don't have to learn music theory anymore. I think that is part of it.
You never had to learn you never needed to learn music theory to play a guitar. Like, most people don't.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, how much education does Trent Reznor have? He seems like a self-educated dude. I don't know. And I'm sure, you know, he was buying synthesizers at a time where he was getting them really cheap. You know? It wasn't a big time for synths. You could still go out in, you know, in the 80s and early 90s and find, you know, Roland drum machines and synthesizers and Korgs and all that at pawn shops for reasonable prices, because, you know, they were just abundant and nobody really cared for them.
With things like Pro Tools, you don't have to know how to drum anymore. You don't have to know how to... Who needs a session musician anymore? I'll program it all.
Yeah, but he uses sequencers.
That's why I'm saying it's...
You know, he does all this shit himself.
He probably knows the truth and he doesn't want to say it. Because, like I said, it's close to home to his bread and butter.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe. But, you know, what Trent Reznor has that's unique is a sound, right? That he uses synthesizers to make that sound. But I imagine if you locked him up in a studio with no synthesizers, but guitars and effects and drums and all that shit, he'd spit out something that sounded like Nine Inch Nails.
Because he can play.
Well, he can play it, yes. He could play all that shit. But the sound is what, you know, is Trent Reznor, is what is Nine Inch Nails. Not the sound of Roland synthesizers and vintage Korgs. Yeah. It's the sound that he creates, you know, and he's, you know, he mostly works in synth, but even when he does other types of music, like, you know, the soundtrack work that he's done a lot of recently, that stuff, you know, doesn't sound like Nine Inch Nails, but you still hear the elements in there. You still hear that, well, he's really fond of what's the devil's interval?
Oh, the diminished fifth.
Is it the diminished fifth? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's very
augmented fourth, whichever way you want to go on the interval scale.
Yeah, he's very fond of that. You know, you'll notice he's very sparse on his melodies, but it usually includes one of those in the middle of it because it has that kind of unnerving feel to it.
Oh, the end of the
Closer?
Hurt.
Oh.
That's a diminished fifth. Like, that's just... Yeah.
So I don't know, you know, like more music. Yeah. Okay. So maybe there's more music because it's easier for people to make it. There's more of it out there. I mean, it doesn't mean that it doesn't affect the state of music, right? Actually, I think you just have more opportunities for like good artists to rise out of all of that nonsense. You know, I mean, again, to make the comparison to like the early rock era, there was a lot of bands during that era. It was an explosion. Did all those bands make it on the radio? No. Did all those bands that made it on the radio actually go on to have long recording careers? No. Far from it. That's why we have Nuggets box sets.
Right.
You know, all these garage bands that got together and, you know, threw some songs together and hey, they just happened to, here's one that's really catchy. And maybe it went to number 5 on a local chart somewhere. But, you know, now it's just a lost nugget. But I don't know, like.
Are you telling me Hall & Oates aren't friends?
Wait. I don't follow the logic, but I hear that they're not. Did you hear Daryl Hall on?
I did.
Yeah. So he was being really cagey about it, wasn't he? Because he, like, when Bill said your partner, he was like, I don't have a partner.
Like, what I gleaned from it is they were put together. Like, it wasn't like they were two guys who met writing songs in the early 70s in New York. I think a record label threw them together.
Maybe that's the case. Yeah, it was like, hey, you both are good songwriters, but you got no hook, right? You're just bland white dudes. So maybe if we mix 2 brands of mayo together, we'll come up with something original. I don't know. I like those recordings stand up. Those songs stand up. Like they hold that. That shit holds up.
I'm good till like 84.
Yeah,
I'm good till like Adult Education starts showing up.
That recording doesn't stand up. That does not hold.
Yeah.
I'll agree with you there. Yeah, no, they got, they fucking went the ZZ Top route for a little while. They got all fucking synthed out and, and everybody wanted big echoey drums on their shit, like Phil Collins drums.
Yeah, the gated drums of the 80s.
The gated drums, yeah, that was a thing. That's like adult education is just based on 80s on gated drum sound, right?
I mean, it just is not. It's terrible. Yeah, you can give me Rich Girl. You can give me. I don't care what fucking Corolla says. You can give me Man Eater.
Man Eater's good.
Man Eater's a good groove.
It is a good groove.
I like. I Can't Go For That.
He was complaining about Prince again, and they're like, "Just play a song. Listen to this shit." And the whole time I'm getting down, like, this is a fucking classic, man.
See, I wasn't on his side in the beginning. I'm starting to be like, the more we get away from the 80s, the more I'm like, yeah, man, your producer was just kind of like, hey, let's put everything that sounds like right now into your. I get it. With Prince, the songwriting holds up. To me, it's the production.
I think the production holds. I think those records are classics. I mean, they are of the moment, yes, but I think they're still well produced enough and well recorded enough that they hold up. You see the latest Kanye brouhaha?
Yeah, and everyone.
He had his new fashion show.
How do people not realize this? Everyone who freaked out, you did exactly what he fucking wanted you to.
Right.
He is a living troll. He is trolling everybody.
He says, I'm going to put this on a shirt and everyone's going to freak out and react and it's going to be all over social media and I'm going to have news reports on it and it's all going to be free advertisement for my clothing line. Which, I don't know. Like, I don't know who wears Kanye West clothes. I really don't. I don't see them in the wild. I don't know if I'd recognize them.
You are not in the demographic. Neither am I.
Is it exclusively like a black thing?
It's younger people and black people, yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, I saw the clothes look like nothing special. It looked like they were doing wardrobe tests for a Mad Max film. Like everybody right. had like kind of baggy, torn edge, loose clothing.
And the dude with the flame guitar really gave it all away.
Yeah. But yeah, slap White Lives Matter on there and get everybody upset. Like, is anybody surprised at this point?
That's what I'm saying. Like, him going to see Trump was him trolling everyone. Him wearing a MAGA hat was him trolling everyone. Him talking about slavery was a choice was him trolling everyone. Like, we don't get this. It's what, for the last 10 years, he's not a musician. He's a troll.
Yeah. He's been acting out.
He hasn't been a musician since 2009. That's another conversation. But I mean, even back when he was a the Taylor Swift thing, right? George Bush doesn't care about black people. He's been trolling us for like damn near 2 decades. Why is everyone like all shocked and surprised? I saw it and I was like, well, Kanye being Kanye.
Apparently you tweeted after this too. Everybody knows that Black Lives Matter was a scam. Now it's over. You're welcome. I mean,
his next tweet, I give no fucks. You're welcome.
Depends on what you mean by BLM, right? Like BLM as a concept, I think it was rather successful. BLM as an organization turned out to be horribly corrupt.
Shocking.
And did nothing and stole money and used it to buy houses for their friends. Like, it was a scam. You're right. Now, how does that equate to you putting White Lives Matter? Like, I don't agree with the statement White Lives Matter any more than I agree with the statement Black Lives Matter. it's an exclusionary message.
Right.
I also don't buy into all lives matter because then you're just trying to be the opposite of Black Lives Matter. Like, you guys are all saying things that we've agreed on since the dawn of our human brains being able to conceive of life as a precious thing. Right? It all matters. We get it.
Or I'm with COVID. No lives matter. Coming for all of you.
Yeah. I would, honestly, if I were to buy into any message, it would be No Lives Matter. And I don't believe that either, but it's the most accurate one.
Actually, no.
It's the one that reflects the most universal truth.
Well, as I say, this is definitely, I think, somebody's routine. But just go outside on a clear night and look up and say No Lives Matter. You'll get it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I'm picturing Black Lives. Imagine a shot above a crowd, right? And you see on one side a bunch of Black Lives Matter signs, and there's a bunch of people waving signs that say White Lives Matter on the other side, and then you just zoom out, and you just keep zooming out. And you keep zooming out until the Earth is a pinpoint, until the galaxy that we live in is a pinpoint. And you just keep fucking going.
No lives matter.
How big the fuck and you just go, fucking no lives matter.
Yeah.
Like, this planet doesn't fucking matter in the big picture of things. We're a fucking fluke. Make the most of it.
For all we know, in a few years, we could be Alderaan. Fucking, we're all hanging out, and in one day, poof, nothing.
Yeah, all be left of us is a pockmarked surface of the moon.
Yeah,
with our debris and a bunch of our garbage.
Yeah,
we blew up the planet, and their garbage is fucking everywhere now.
You just shot it off into space, thinking it wouldn't matter. Still go somewhere, assholes. We're glad you're dead.
The Weedsman Podcast.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Mary redeemed a $50,000 cash prize playing Chumba Casino this year.
I was only playing for fun, so winning this was a dream come true.
Chumba Casino is America's #1 social casino experience. It's serious fun. With over 80 casino-style games to choose from, you too could win life-changing amounts of cash. Be like Mary. Log on to ChumbaCasino.com and give them a whirl. That's ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void or prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details. The voice in the preceding commercial was not the actual voice of a winner.
ChristopherMedia.net.
The Weedsman Podcast.
Oh my God. You want to talk about looking up into the sky, though? So Russia has apparently, I guess as a country, they've invested $65 million in looking into space advertising.
How? And who is this?
Satellites. Let's see.
I'm going to guess, perhaps the advertising comes from space because...
No, it's up there in the sky.
We're talking a very, 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 very niche audience.
No, it'll be visible from Earth.
Like a dozen people.
No. We've been studying some more technical aspects of space advertising for a while now. Author of this paper, Shamil Bikchermov. Something like that. It's the first time we looked at the economic side of things, and as unrealistic as it may seem, we show that space advertising based on 50 or more small satellites flying information could be economically viable, meaning that it might be worth it for a company like, let's say, Coca-Cola or Nike to pay enough money to have the satellites arrange in a certain pattern to spell something or make a swoosh or do something. In this example, they have the Olympic rings.
Wow.
Up in the sky. This one says Loca-Cola. I think it's a dummy, but it's in the Coca-Cola script.
Wow.
Imagine looking up into the sky and being like, oh, look, there's Orion, the Big Dipper. There's a Nike swoosh.
Oh, hey, look, it's Flow. This stuff definitely couldn't be used for evil.
So somebody spent $2 million writing the cool S.
Right.
Yeah, great. What the fuck, dude? I mean...
And at some point, someone's going to put a dick in the sky just to say they did it.
That might be worth actually just seeing.
See, exactly.
You caught me. All right, fine. I would like to see a giant dick in the sky, but just once. I don't want to see it every night. Just shooting. Just spraying stars out into the galaxy. Yeah. Or somebody will just hack it, right? They won't pay for it. Actually, Elon would probably pay to have a giant dick in the sky.
And then if it's circumcised, Then you're going to get the anti-Semites are going to come out.
Yeah.
So you got to have one circed and one uncirced. And yeah, that definitely sounds like an Elon move.
That or somebody would hack the system to spell, to make a dick in the sky. How would it work? Initially, the team proposed an advertising mission using a formation of miniature satellites called CubeSats. Rather than trying to determine the reflector size yielding a certain pixel magnitude, we consider the largest reflector that has actually been successfully deployed and operated on a CubeSat, namely a 32 square meter solar sail.
Wait, can you project images onto this thing?
No.
Oh.
It just would reflect sunlight.
Because now I'm imagining guys getting pictures of their friends with the dick.
Yeah.
Like finding a picture of their friend where their friend's mouth is open.
Yeah. Penn Jillette was telling a story about how a friend and somebody who had worked on their Vegas show for a long time had to have a procedure, and for whatever reason, maybe it was had to happen under an emergency situation or something, but they ended up taking him to the hospital. Yeah. I think he had to have his appendix out, right? So they had to interrupt their plans and take this guy to the hospital to help him out, and they stayed there with them, and they kind of played a prank on the doctor, but played it off completely straight. They pull the doctor aside and they look, you're going to do this procedure on our friend. He's in there. He's all knocked out and everything. What if we just gave you a little money and we can go in there, and while he's knocked out, we can just put our balls in his mouth and take some pictures. And the doctor said, why? And they said, they looked confused and went, for social media. And he said no, and they're like, all right, no, come on, really, and whipped out some cash. How much would it really take?
Doctor's like, I cannot let you. There's a code that they will not let me be a doctor anymore.
Right.
If I let you do this.
That's what I was thinking. No amount of money in the world would make you throw away a decade's worth of education and a high salary and all the hours of work that you put in, and your ego.
I mean, it'd have to at least be one of my friends. I'd have to know the person with the balls in their mouth. I should be in on the prank.
But just they kept going for it. They kept trying just to see if this doctor would break, I guess. Or maybe they would actually do it. Who knows? They might actually do it.
The moral of the story is guys never grow up.
Yes. And don't let Penn or Teller take you to the hospital.
Yeah. Also, bonus moral.
We got a trailer for that Super Mario Brothers movie starring Chris Pratt as the voice of Mario.
Jack Black Bowser?
Oh, is he?
And isn't it only in Italian right now?
I don't know. I haven't watched it. It's in Italian?
No, never mind.
Well,
hello?
Many fans reacted poorly to the choice of Pratt for Mario, in particular partly due to his lack of Italian heritage.
Oh, jeez. He's a cartoon character.
But is he... I gotta hear it now, because is he doing the voice? I mean, you gotta, right? It's a me.
It's me, Mario.
It's a me, Mario.
I just wonder if it's been yanked down every time the one I click on.
No, it's official release. It wasn't a leak. Of course, starts off with a bois, because it's a fucking modern day trailer, even if it's about fucking Mario.
A lot of fire.
There's gonna be a bass drop in here.
It's like something with Bowser on the front of it, like a Bowser type Death Star.
I'm shocked that there isn't a choir of young females singing. Do, 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 do.
Open the gates!
What are the Angry Birds fighting the Koopas? The fuck is this?
That is but a taste of our fury. Do you yield? I do not.
A lot of fire.
So is this like an action movie?
I finally found it. Now who's gonna stop me?
There it is.
Yep.
They fucking did it. Why? My God, every trailer sounds the same. This could be for any fucking movie.
What is this place? Do not touch that mushroom, you'll die! Oh, I'm sorry. That one's perfectly fine. Come on, Mario!
Mushroom Kingdom, here we come.
But they should... I understand there's probably some action in it, but it's probably mostly a comedy, and that doesn't seem like a trailer for a comedy.
Luigi? Alright, I'll probably see it. Just to see it.
When it streams, yeah.
Maybe I get some own magic mushrooms of my own. Watch it.
Yeah, I just... That could have been a trailer for any movie coming out right now.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I miss the days of Mr. LaFontaine. And who's the other big voice actor? He's in a world.
Oh, he still does it.
Yeah, but not for trailers anymore because they don't want them for trailers. Like, they don't have They don't have these guys' voice over
Black
the trailer.
guy.
Was he
We've
black?
had
dude?
this conversation before.
Yeah.
He's an actor.
He's not in here.
Yeah, Don LaFontaine keeps coming up. It's not fucking Don LaFontaine. It's a black guy.
Hal Douglas?
No.
Oh, Hal Douglas has apparently done a lot, too.
This video is called The Movie Trailer Voice Guy is Black.
In a world where people need something to watch with their family during the holiday season, Keep Your Distance is here. Thanksgiving and Christmas, you get 14 amazing comedians over 2 shows.
Different black guy, but still a black guy.
Each individual show is $20 a piece, so you can see why.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's a fucking actor, too. I feel like we have this conversation like once a year. Here we go. I got a picture of him. Who the fuck is this guy? Keith David.
Keith David doesn't... Yeah, he's an actor. He's the fucking guy who says, I know it's pretty, but I didn't take it out for air.
Yeah. But he, in the 90s and 2000s, he was all over movie trailers.
He's done a lot of animation, but I didn't know he was on movie trailers, too.
Yeah.
What does Hal Douglas sound like, then?
Hal Douglas, American voice actor. Here you go. His demo reel.
Hal Douglas. Never before has the reality of the ultimate sacrifice hit so close to home.
That did
At our house, he is the known soldier, and we're proud to know him.
A Seventh Heaven landmark event.
He was a slightly raspier version of Don LaFontaine.
Yeah.
Now let's listen to some LaFontaine. Mr. Golden Throat himself. The voice of God.
Throughout history, man has marveled at the vast complexity
Yep.
of the universe. Without a single unified voice, humanity has been left searching for answers.
And it's not just the voice, right? Obviously,
it's the delivery.
They're going for a certain, type of voice, obviously, but it's the inflection. It's absolutely the delivery, the knowing how to hit every syllable just right for effectiveness, without seeming ridiculous. Like, you believe him, like, oh yeah, this is intense, what you're telling me, yeah.
There was a guy named Chris Corley. He used to do a bunch of them, but he died.
Chris Corley, I don't know that name. What's he sound like?
He did a radio station me and Todd were on. He was our voice guy. And he used to be a small-time voice guy, and by like 2010, he was fucking huge and everything.
No
and
shit.
he just fucking died.
He died young, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Brazil's satellite hit music station, Jovem Pan.
Whoa, dude.
Sua voz
Yeah.
é conhecida em todo mundo.
I'm the voice behind the movies. The Hulk.
A Jovem Pan traz para sua programação a voz
What's the other shit?
do cinema em todo o planeta.
Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Nice to meet you. I'm Chris Corley.
I like it. He had good delivery.
Of God.
Chris Corley, a voz do cinema.
Now in Jovem Pan.
Durante toda a programação.
So he got international work, huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah, very, very unique voice. He's got the rasp and like the gravity in his voice.
The rasp and the depth.
Yeah, but he also has a kind of uplifting delivery too.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
he's great for a rock station.
Yeah, like really, really kind of hyped up without being ridiculous. I like it. It's such a rare and specific talent. You know, it's one of those things that like people don't appreciate, I think. They think like, oh, you're just born with a certain voice. There's plenty of dudes out there that can talk like that, but they can't deliver. Mm-hmm. You know?
Right, like Dawson.
Yeah, Adam Carolla's guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mike Dawson.
Yeah, he's got the right range, he's got the right gravity to the voice, the balls, but he knows how to read too.
Yeah. Well,
the stuff that he's done, the books on tape that he's narrated, he does a really good job. That's not an easy job either. Mm-hmm. If you ever look at like people who, there's a lot fewer voice actors that can read a whole book than there are authors.
There's an art and a skill to reading and making it sound like you're not.
Yeah. Yes. That too. Absolutely.
Did you know he was not born with that voice?
What did he do?
He had an operation for a deviated septum.
Oh, really?
And after he had that operation, his voice was like that.
Well, they did him a fucking favor.
Yeah, right?
I mean, imagine what he was like before. Hey, I'm Dawson.
Yeah. Hey, guys, how's it going? I'm Mike Dawson.
It's Adam Carolla show.
Yeah.
With Adam Carolla and Gina Kratz here and Paul Bryan on whatever he does.
Yeah.
All right, guys,
it always sounds like God.
Oh, guys, just start the show.
Yeah. Did you hear Peter, Paul, Mary, and Adam? That was so hilarious.
That one was really good.
I haven't laughed out loud in a while.
That was some good improv. Because everybody
Why are we
was
singing about a fucking dragon? I'm trying to get a blowjob. I want to think about, I'm coming to your town, I'm loving all your ladies, and then I'm rambling. Can we sing about that?
All right, so on to the news then. Obviously, we talked about it at the top of the hour, but we got to go through some of the details on Biden's plan here. And, well, let's just start with the statement, because he says, as I often said during my campaign for president, no one should be in jail for using or possessing marijuana.
Did you say it often?
I remember him saying it.
You're right.
Once. I remember him saying it once. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how often. He wasn't really pushing it. It wasn't a platform issue for him.
To be fair, every appearance wasn't on TV.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Sending people to prison for possessing marijuana has upended too many lives and incarcerated people for conduct that many states no longer prohibit. And he goes on to talk about a lot of things that we know. So, yeah, I'm announcing 3 steps taking an end to this failed approach. First, announcing a pardon for all prior federal offenses of simple possession of marijuana. I mean, come on.
That's big.
Come on, people. That is really big. That's something that, as each state legalizes, that's something that they have to do, but they don't have any power over the Fed. Colorado can expunge crimes that were prosecuted by Colorado, but if you were pinched by the feds,
yeah.
I mean, then again, if you're pinched by the feds, who's getting pinched by the feds on possession?
Right.
I wonder how many people this is. Well, it also, he says, it's not like they also oversee Washington D.C. So every possession charge in Washington D.C., which is probably a lot.
Yeah.
Probably a lot. I'm just saying. And not because a lot of black people live there, right? I'm not trying to dance around it. A lot of black people live there, and we know that it's not that black people smoke pot more than white people, although they might smoke more pot. But by the numbers, they smoke probably just as much as white people do. They just get ticketed for it a lot more. Second, I am urging all governors to do the same with regard to state offenses.
Well, most of them have.
Just as no one should be in a federal prison solely due to possession of marijuana, no one should be in a local jail or state prison for that reason either. Okay. I don't know if that counts as a third prong in your three-prong plan. It sounds like a two-prong.
Would be a second part.
Well, I mean, he says that there's three parts to it, and the second one is urging state governors to follow suit. That's not really...
Well, I also take issue...
That's not a directive, right?
If the third part is the third part.
Well, third, I am asking the Secretary of Health and Human Services and the Attorney General to initiate the administrative process to review... Say it in fucking English, dude. Are you serious? I mean, not that I don't understand what he's saying, but like, this is why
he wants them to start looking. He wants them to start looking at maybe taking it off of Schedule 1. You're the president. Just go take it off Schedule 1 because I'm the president. Get out that fucking gold pen that you guys love in the first 6 months of all your presidencies and fucking use it.
Initiate the administrative process to review expeditiously how marijuana is scheduled under federal law.
He's gauging their interest. That's what he's doing. Like, just...
That's fine writing if this was an article in the New York Times, but like, you're addressing the whole nation. Can you just, like... I'm not saying that you need to dumb it down, but like, brevity is the soul of convincing people, right?
Yeah.
Like, keep it brief.
Talking over people's heads don't win you any favors or friends or whatever.
It all sounds like you're dancing around something, right? Just get to the point. But I guess, not everybody is as informed on the subject as us.
Like, I was hopeful when I saw that and I started reading it and I got to the end and I was like, no legalization. Well, like, I was hoping the end of that was like, and by the way... Taking it off Schedule 1.
I think that would probably be the lead then. Well, I think this is big news regardless, because just for the expunging of crimes it shouldn't even be crimes. It'd be nice to see him go even a step further and help these people out who are in jail for something that they shouldn't have been jailed for. Give them something to get them back on their feet. You can't make up for taking years of people's lives away, but money goes a long way in trying to make it better. Yeah, the bigger long-term news is certainly like just the fact that somebody is talking about reevaluating it as a Schedule 1 drug. Every president prior has just been like, "Oh, my hands are tied." Even if they're not anti-cannabis, they're like, "What do you want me to do about it?" It's Schedule 1.
I don't know. You're the president. We could start there.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. It could have been better. I would have liked more to have seen Mortimer come out, the magic pen, and sign and just poor magically. It's a new life for him. He's trying to put the old life behind him.
He used me to stir the drinks. The horrors I've seen.
The places I've been.
Oh, God.
Literally.
Oh, poor Mortimer.
He left me in there for a day. I would have liked to see the magic pen come out, but, this is probably a better solution for the long term, right? Because what we know about the magic pen is what the magic pen can do. The next president has the same magic wand, right? They just say the same thing backwards and it undoes. Right? That's it.
Mecca lecca high, mecca hiney ho.
Right. So, this could put us on a better path to like putting all of this behind us. Going full legalization across the country. Not in a way where it can't be challenged, right?
Yeah.
Where there's no looking back. But we'll see. It's a start. I would have liked to have seen this at the beginning of the administration if it was so important to him, especially the fact that, Imagine being in jail and hearing the president say, yeah, elect me and I'll let you out of jail. And obviously you couldn't vote for that person, but
because you're in jail.
Because you're in jail, but you're happy that they got in, and then you sit there for a couple of years and going, all right.
Remember that guy who said he'd let me out of jail if I voted for him?
When's all this happening? Like this. I don't know. This is from last year, April 28th. There's a picture that accompanies NBC's story on this. Bunch of people on the White House lawn or in front of the White House with a huge joint that says, Biden, come on, man. I don't know. I think it's funny. Because it's his catchphrase. Come on, man.
I get it, but at the same time, it's like, remember how we used to give out the you're not helping? This is the shit that does not help.
I know. I mean, I get it. You know, the joint is synonymous with cannabis. It still is the most popular way, although it is waning, to consume cannabis. But it's not the image that is going to take cannabis into the future.
If you keep showing up and having drum circles and fucking
hacking the sack.
Yeah, you're never going to be taken seriously.
Yes.
Keep the Bob Marley poster in your bedroom. Like the other day, right? I felt I was being too much of a stoner cliche because I was sitting in the dispensary parking lot waiting for them to come out, listening to Pink Floyd a little too loud. I turned it down. Like, I'm at a dispensary listening to Pink Floyd. I am being a stoner cliche right now because I didn't want to, I didn't want to hurt the cause.
Typical. Apparently, cannabis companies Tilray Brands and Canopy Growth both spiked on this news. Again, like this, there's no like direct action. I don't think this is going to mean a huge spike in sales anywhere in the country.
No, but I mean, definitely could help with the legitimacy of the industry.
Yeah, it does.
It can make the stocks worth owning.
Yeah, it speaks to long-term growth of these companies.
It now means, this company could be around for a while. I'm going to buy stock in.
Yeah. This isn't something that's going to fall apart in 3 years and I'm going to be left high and dry.
Then you got to just find your Apple computers in 1980.
Yeah. He says in his statement, Biden does, there are thousands of people who have prior federal convictions for marijuana possession who may be denied employment, housing, or educational opportunities as a result. My action will help relieve the collateral consequences arising from these convictions. So he is talking about doing something, not just expunging records, but helping these people get back on their feet, I guess. I mean, that's kind of vague. Finally, even as federal and state regulation of marijuana changes, important limitations on trafficking, marketing, and underage sales should stay in place. I don't know why that has to be said. Right. Unless they're just trying to like get ahead of the critics on this one, who just assume, okay, so Biden's just free for all on cannabis now. I don't know why anybody would assume that just because, we're talking about making it legal across the country, that means that there won't still be restrictions on it.
My kindergartner is going to go to school and be offered marijuana.
Yeah, what do I tell them now? I voted for Biden. I told them that Biden was a good person. Now he's on TV promoting cannabis. Just a month ago, weren't we talking about him and Fetterman? And Fetterman was pressing Biden on cannabis, and he had nothing to say about it.
Yeah,
seems weird. Like, why?
Wait, man.
Why don't you take the?
Hold on, man. It's coming.
Right? They just maybe didn't have their ducks in a row yet. I don't know.
See, the other day, Biden was calling for a dead person.
No, he was. Called
out for someone at an appearance that apparently he's been dead for 2 years.
For 2 years, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Think he knows everybody? He's the fucking president. How many people does he meet? And he's old as fuck.
You should treat him like Ozzy. Only what's on the teleprompter. Only say what's on the teleprompter.
Yeah.
No more riffing, President Grandpa.
This is what happens when you go off script.
Yeah.
The story in CNN, it says, the moves Biden announced Thursday stop short of full decriminalization. Well, yeah, it's way short of that. It didn't do anything close to decriminalization. Matter of fact, it doesn't stop the feds from going forward prosecuting cannabis crimes.
Did nothing for legalization, actually.
Yeah. Stops short of full decriminalization, which has enjoyed growing support among both political parties. But they are the first significant steps taken by a U.S. president toward removing criminal penalties for possessing marijuana. The president and a small circle of White House aides had been wrangling for weeks over the changes, complicated both by Biden's own personal skepticism about decriminalization and not wanting to dictate changes to the Justice Department. They say Biden's own views on marijuana is a product of both his age and the years he spent as the chairman of the Judiciary Committee in the Senate working on crime bills. But I don't follow this exactly. Are they inferring this, or is this based on some sort of statement? Because my problem, it's not that he wasn't in support of cannabis. He just wasn't as vocal about it as I would like him to be. But he's always had like positive things to say about it. Well, you know what I mean. Not
in the last few years.
Yeah. Well, since he's been president, the most important time, right? A senior official is quoted as saying the process will take some time because it must be based on a careful consideration of all the available evidence, including scientific and medical information that's available.
There's tons.
Yeah. You can just say all available evidence, scientific and I don't know what the difference between scientific and medical information is. It's all the same information. It all adds up to the same thing. We have a long history of using this drug as a people in general. We know what it does.
Yeah. Plenty of medical research. Sounds like stalling to me.
Yeah. And I would like to at least have seen a plan of we're going to look at this. If we come to the right conclusions, we can have this legalized by the end of my term or something. Make a commitment. Or is this just going to be a tin can that you kick on down the road until it's not on your lawn anymore? Is this going to be a ball that you pass on to somebody else who doesn't give a shit, or it maybe is anti-cannabis?
Maybe they use this to rile people up for the midterms and then legalization for 2024.
Maybe. That's not a bad idea. I mean, actually, I think it's an excellent idea. I think that the Democrats would be pretty damn successful with it. Maybe not to say that this is only a Democratic issue, because as we've seen from recent polls, there's a hell of a lot of Republicans supporting this too. It's a bipartisan issue. So really both Democrats and Republicans should be talking about this shit.
But you'd rile up the youth.
But then, you can't have both teams in agreement on it. They have to, if one team takes a stance, the other team has to take the opposite stance regardless of their beliefs. That's how this works now. This is our new society.
Yeah.
Right?
People who hate people, come together. No. But you're our strongest member. Are you fucking coming? Yes. Well, then I ain't going. It's Bill Hicks.
That's right. I ain't going.
That's what I'm talking about.
So, yeah, we'll see. It's, is it historic? Yeah.
A little bit.
Absolutely it is.
For the federal expungement, absolutely.
Yeah, it's something that's never happened before in this country. This is an historic day, as they might say. Is it going to really do anything? No.
TBD.
This isn't the day that's going to live on in history, right?
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be like, where were you when Biden made his famous speech about how, we're not really sure about this cannabis thing and it might be okay and we're going to take a hard look at it and we might be doing something. We could be doing something soon on this. No, nobody's remembering that day.
Yeah.
Now, when they actually legalize it, That's the day that we will remember.
Yeah. The day where you do something, we'll talk.
And until then, we'll just keep doing the Weedsman podcast, right?
Yeah. But not anymore today. Or do we have more today?
We don't have more today.
Oh, okay. You were leading me down the path.
Yes.
All right. Follow us on social media at the Weedsman420 on Twitter. Like us on Facebook. Wherever you are on social media, share us. That's how you help people find us. And like us. Or I just did that. If you want to help us out, hit the PayPal button in the Amazon banner at ChristopherMedia.net. And wherever you listen to the show, besides sharing it, if you could rate us and review us, we would appreciate it, please and thank you, because it's the other part of the equation of helping people to find us. So, thank you for listening. Stay high.
Stay high.
The Weedsman Podcast.
ChristopherMedia.net.